every day means every day. And over the next 8 weeks, I'm going to work every day to change my life. I'm going to be in the best shape that I've ever been in my entire life. I'm going to make more money than I've ever made in my entire life. And I'm going to document the process every single day right here on YouTube and then over on my Instagram at IamBBurns if you want to see more behind the scenes of the day-to-day of what this actually looks like. Now, before I get there, I know I do have a little bit of explaining to do because I'm Mr. Everyday means every day. I'm Mr. Consistency, and I stopped posting every day on YouTube like I said that I would. Here's what happened. I actually had like 6 videos that got 0 views, and I was super confused on what was going on because the views were starting to steadily increase. And one day I looked at my analytics and I realized I had been posting on private for like a week. And I don't know how this happened and how I completely missed it. I don't know what was going on, but I totally fumbled the bag on that one and I apologize. But when that happened, I thought that it might be a good idea to take that opportunity to step back and reevaluate the content strategy to begin with, because a lot of people in the space had told me, hey, maybe this direct to camera style video, unedited, no B-roll, no cinematography, maybe it's not the best way to grow and the best way to really spend your time. And I actually really agree with him. So what I'm going to do is do every day means every day, but in spurts, at least on YouTube. And then during the off times of those seasons, then I'm going to be posting more like once a week. And those will be much more high quality edited videos that go really, really deep on particular topics in terms of business, fitness, lifestyle, etc. Now, over the next 8 weeks, I will be posting daily again because I want to show you the behind the scenes of this process that I am about to go through. Now, over the next 8 weeks, and it's really 7 weeks and 5 days because I have a couple of goals. There's a bodybuilding show here in Nashville. It's a OCB division, which is natural bodybuilding. So everybody's tested, polygraphed, etc. And it's going to be my first bodybuilding show ever. And those of you who follow the channel know I used to be a gymnast at University of Michigan. I've always been in sports and I've worked out every day for the last, few years. I mean, on and off every day, for the most part every day for the last 17 years, but truly been on this every day means every day mentality, building the brand for the last, 3 or 4 years. But I've never done any sort of bodybuilding competitively ever. And I threw something out on my Instagram, a few months ago, and I was like, hey, should I do this? I think it could be kind of fun. I genuinely had no intention of thoroughly pursuing it. And the response was wild. Like, you guys were like, you have to do it. I had friends tell me it would be a waste if I didn't do it. And I said, you know what? Let me check this thing out. I looked at the guys who placed at the World Championships at OCB Natural Bodybuilding last year, and I feel like I can compete with them if I really lock in. I've never truly optimized my physique. I've optimized for performance when I was a gymnast, but I've never really optimized for physique. I've never really dieted super, super strictly. I've done it in seasons where I could, learn how my body responds to things, but I've never gone all in. And this is a challenge for me to actually do the work and see how far I can take it. So on July 12th, the day after my birthday, I'll be competing in my debut OCB Natural Bodybuilding show. The intention is to win that show outright, secure my pro card, and then we'll see about, potentially making a run at World Championships at the Yorton Cup in September. We'll see on that one. The other thing I want to do by that date is hit my first 50K month as an entrepreneur. And it's important for me because I just feel like, A, I'm currently living under my potential. I do very well, but I could be doing better, and I should be doing better because I'm the guy that says reach your potential daily, not occasionally. And it would be a disservice to the brand that I'm building and to everybody who watches if I was not actively striving towards that in every way possible, physically, mentally, spiritually, and yes, financially, right? So that's what I'm going to be doing. And I want to give you a quick breakdown of how I'm doing it. Again, I'm going to be going through this every single day, talking here on YouTube about the process, how I'm feeling, the challenges, how I'm getting through it. But also definitely check out IG and TikTok and everything else for more of that behind the scenes vibe. But here's the plan, right? 7 weeks and 5 days to win OCB and make 50K a month. Here's how we're going to do it. Number one, on the bodybuilding side, my schedule right now is I've been waking up around 5:30 and I immediately go downstairs to my apartment gym and I hit some zone 2 cardio for 40 minutes. That burns between 400 and 450 calories. To hit zone 2, that for me is between 135 and 140, 145-ish heart rate. I'm usually able to do that at a 3 to 3.2 mile an hour pace on the treadmill at a 12 incline, or I can just go to the step mill Stairmaster, and that will get the job done too. So I do 40 minutes of that completely fasted, and then I work on abs while I'm down there in the morning, nice and early as well, especially, obliques, really, really big, and OCB. So I've been working those in the morning. Then I come upstairs. I usually don't eat any sort of breakfast. If I eat anything that early, it's going to be just a protein shake. And in the protein shake, I'll actually throw in my creatine as well. The other commitment that I'm making over the next 8 weeks is I'm only using my own stuff. So I'm using EME protein, EME creatine, and I'm using my EME energy drinks. And then I got like black coffee and stuff. But that's it. I feel like if I can't win using my own stuff, I don't want to sell it. Like, I don't want to be sitting here preparing for a bodybuilding show using First Form, nothing against them. It just seems disingenuous to me. So that's the commitment that I'm making. I'm only going to use my own products as I do this. I'm also using the Everyday Means Everyday app to track all my nutrition, log my habits, etc. So that's the first part of my morning. Then I'm mostly doing sales calls, work meetings, etc. Around, midday, I'll have my first true meal. That one's usually a little bit lighter, also super, super heavy protein. So I'll usually supplement that with another shake. More calls, more deals being done. And then toward the end of the day is when I'm actually going back and hitting my lift, and then finishing that with some additional zone 2 cardio, 15, 20 minutes. So I end up doing about an hour of zone 2. While I'm on my meetings, I'm also using this walking desk for some of those as well. Zone 1 cardio, 105 heart rate, somewhere in there. But I can do that for, an hour at a time, if not more, while still getting work done. So I'm using that to make sure I hit around 15,000 steps or more every day as well, shooting for 20K steps a day. The meals, I'm using Trifecta, because if you follow me for a while, you know that I can't cook. I don't like to cook. I don't want to learn how to cook. I don't do it. I think it's a waste of time. And so I'm having everything delivered. So pretty much everything I'm eating is protein shakes, and then the Trifecta, delivered meal prep stuff. So that's how I'm doing it. And then in terms of how I'm going to hit 50K a month, I can't be too specific with numbers. I wish I could be, but I have NDAs with a lot of my clients. Right now, obviously, I'm still working with Eric Thomas. He is my main man. I'm currently, still serving as his agent and speaking at all the conferences. I do all of his sales from stage. I close all of his keynote speaking gigs, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a chunk of that that's coming from the work that I do with him from a business development standpoint, as well as a sales standpoint. I also recently signed Ty Lopez as a client, so I'm working with him in terms of closing, high-ticket closing for some of his programs, a lot of his coaching programs and offers and things of that nature. Also working with another fitness influencer that I signed recently, same thing, high-ticket closing. So my day is like 8 to 10 sales calls a day. Some of them are for 150K, big corporate keynote deals for ET. Some of them are for 15K coaching and consulting packages. Some of them are for, 5K fitness deals. It really just depends. And a lot of that is commission only. So it's very, very performance based. So I'm going to let you in behind the scenes on some of that stuff as well as we go throughout the next 8 weeks, Obviously, every day means every day is building. You see, I've got this nice little display box here. Energy drinks are back in stock. Creatine is in stock. Protein is in stock. What I'm going to do is I had a massive, massive amount of interest in people joining the affiliate program. So I'm going to start taking these boxes and putting together some samples of all my stuff, sending them to big influencers who want to be a part of the mission. I don't care how many followers people have on social media. I just don't. This is a long-term play for me. I think it's going to be the next billion-dollar supplement company, and I'm not trying to build an Optimum Nutrition or an AG1 Athletic Greens. I'm trying to build the next Nike. I'm trying to build something that stands for something, that means something, it's very spiritual for me. I felt like it was a mission and an idea, concept that God gave me, that he wanted me to share with the world, And because of that, it's not about trying to sell the most amount of protein shakes on TikTok Shop right now. It's about getting the right people that genuinely believe in the mission, that genuinely want to help people, that genuinely are the examples. I don't call it an affiliate program. It's the EME Exemplar program. And when you join, like if you get one of these boxes, it's literally a letter that is like me pouring my freaking soul out and explaining the vision behind the brand. And so because of that, I just don't care how many followers people have. I want people who rock with the brand and see the long-term vision. Those are like the athletes and the influencers that I want to sign at first. And I want to build the base around that, right? So I'm going to be sending these out over the next 8 weeks as well to the first round of exemplars that will enroll into the program. We'll be up and running on TikTok Shop by the end of this week, actually. So we're still building that. There's high ticket coaching associated with that for people who find everydaymeanseveryday.com, want to jump in there, build their discipline, their habits, build their fitness, obviously mental and physical. So that's something I'm not as focused on just because it takes more time. And to hit 50K a month in the next 8 weeks, the sales and the high ticket closing is just the easiest way to do it for me because it's a skill set I already have. This requires more marketing and advertising. And while obviously I used to run a digital marketing agency, we hit it we got it up to 40 grand a month. I know how to do it. It takes longer because you've really got to build the following in the brand. So this is a longer term play, but it is still operating in the background. And then, of course, I have my one-on-one consulting clients on, the monetization, the Brand Launch Academy stuff. You can go check that out if you want to as well. All this is at brandonleeburns.com, by the way. And then, of course, keynote speaking, which I'm just not counting on because that's so hit or miss. And that's so like sometimes it's busy season, sometimes there's just nothing there. So that's everything that I have going on. That's the plan to hit 50K a month as an entrepreneur in the next 8 weeks. That's the plan to win my first OCB natural bodybuilding show. And again, the why is I'm doing great, but I'm not where I could be. And I want to see what my potential is. And I want to see like if I really, really, really lock in. Because I'll be honest, you get to a certain point. This is going to be valuable for everybody watching. Don't click off the video here. This is what you need to hear. Everything else has just kind of been like if you're interested in my story and how I'm documenting the process. Because by the way, the reason I'm trying to show you this is because I want to be real with the struggles, with the challenges, with the discipline. I don't want to do this from the mountaintop later. I want you to see the build in progress, okay? So please ask me anything in the comments below. And like, I promise you on tomorrow's video, I will answer that question. I will call you by name and answer that question. Because I want you to be with me during the process. And then once we're at the mountaintop, we can do the whole, look at me, I'm a guru. Let me show you how to do it. But I want you with me for the ride. Okay. Why am I doing this? What's the motivation behind all of it? And what's the value in it for you? I think that when you're doing well, when you get to a certain level of success, whether it be physically, financially, relationally, anything, you start to realize that because of the person that you've become, because of the version of yourself that you are, maintaining is actually kind of easy. Like it would be, and I promise I don't say this to brag or just be a jerk about it. It would be very difficult for me to make less than 10 grand a month. I don't even conceptualize how that's possible because of the person that I've become, because of the habits that I have, the skill sets that I've developed, right? Same thing with fitness. Like I don't understand how I could possibly ever get to a point where I have like a 25, 30% body fat percentage. It's not going to happen where I don't work out every day. It's not going to happen. Now, the EME philosophy. Sometimes my workouts aren't crazy intense. Sometimes if I'm traveling, if I'm speaking, if I'm on the road, maybe it's 100 push-ups before bed. But the idea of not working out in a day, it's not logically possible or plausible, right? The problem with that, it's a beautiful thing to get there. The challenge is sometimes because your maintenance level is pretty good, you lose the hunger and the drive for, wait a minute, am I missing out on who I really could be? Wait a minute. Am I letting myself off the hook for achieving my highest potential? And when you start to have those real conversations with yourself and say, whoa, like, yeah, your standard is high compared to everybody else, but it's nowhere near what it could be. Have you changed? Are you not interested in that 1% improvement every day anymore? What happened to you, man? I thought that was your identity. I thought you wanted to be as good as you could possibly be. I thought you wanted to exploit every ounce of potential that God gave you. What happened to you? When you look in the mirror and have that real conversation and you reignite that pain, you reignite that hunger, you reignite that drive to do everything that you possibly can. I love the Jim Rohn quote. He says, how tall does a tree grow? As tall as it can. Humans are the only things that don't grow physically, spiritually, emotionally, financially as much as possible. We get to a place of comfort and we stop. We quit the game. Can you imagine a tree growing to like 7 feet tall and being like, all right, I'm good. This is enough. It doesn't even make sense. And so my point in this video is a couple things. One, I wanted to explain where I went. Two, I wanted to explain what the plan is moving forward. Seasons of every day means every day for this type of content, long form YouTube, and then seasons of more so weekly, more in-depth, higher edited, higher production value, quality content. B, I wanted to show you where I'm headed with the goals over the next 8 weeks. I wanted to lay the expectation of how I'm going to show you behind the scenes. Nothing's off limits outside of NDA stuff that I can't discuss. Like I want to show you the real raw and like what it's actually going to take. And I wanted you to understand the purpose and the meaning and the reason and the why behind all of this. And I want you to find that within yourself. Like when you turn this video off, I want you to stop and I want you to think. Have I gotten complacent? Have I gotten complacent? Or even if you don't want to use that word, am I capable of more? And if the answer is yes, which by the way, the answer is yes for all of you. You owe it to yourself, you owe it to God, you owe it to all the people that you had blessed by becoming the best version of yourself to run this thing up as much as you can in every way possible. All right? So with that being said, I will see you tomorrow. I'm going to let you in on a lot of the struggles that we've had so far along this journey tomorrow, and I can't wait to go on this journey together. Drop any questions you have in the comments below. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more, and I will see you tomorrow because never forget, every day means every day. Peace.